Kickstarters. We have them, you want them. And the first one that I will bring to you today is called Carthage. I think that's how you say it, right?
I'm pretty sure that's how you say it.
Carthage.
But you know I'm not the person to ask about pronunciations.
No, you're not. This is a gladiatorial-themed game that for once is something from the Roman era that is not a Euro-style bidding game. It is actually a deck-building game, but with a board, and you do have gladiators that you are going to be moving around, and each turn you're going to have 5 cards from your deck, and you must play all of them, and you play one at a time in turn order. So you're going to be interspersed and reacting to what everybody else is doing.
So it's not like I'm going to empty out my hand, your turn.
Exactly. You're going to have time to maybe change your strategy up a little bit. And essentially those cards will be letting you move, attack, defend, etc. And then afterwards you're going to be spending, I think they're called favor points, I think. And those are, you can either buy new cards to upgrade your deck, but they also let you do other things like take something out of your discard pile. So that's how you would cull down your deck or whatever. Which I like that your points aren't strictly for buying new cards. You kind of have other options in that regard.
Well, not only that the culling, to me, a good deck building game needs to have a good culling mechanic that's reasonably reachable to everyone. I've played a couple where that isn't, or there's like only one card that does it, and I feel that if that one person gets it, well, guess what? Game's over.
No, my thoughts exactly. I think it's great that it's built in. It's not, you don't need a card to do it, which is great. And I feel like there isn't really a great gladiator game.
Colosseum?
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a great theme that could be explored more. So I'm excited to check that out. That's Carthage, and that one goes for a certain amount of money that I'll find on my phone in 4 seconds. $43. So look for that. And now, this is not ancient Rome, but it does have, seems like, some Latin in the title. What's this?
So this is a sin tempore, I think I'm saying that right?
No, probably not, but it sounds great.
I apologize in advance.
I think it's a type of fried Japanese dish.
I'm terrible pronouncing things, but in this game it's sort of a cooperative game where you each choose sort of these sci-fi heroes to play as. And there's actually a map, and you choose different spots, and then you draw a random mission card, which will set up the board for different enemies. And what's really cool about that is, depending on where you go, you can maybe go this way on the map or this way, which leads to 3 different endings, I think was the number, which is sort of cool. So it's sort of the story splits up. And the enemies will attack. You actually can build threat, like in a regular MMO, and that's who the enemies go for, which is cool. And when you...
aggro, as it were.
Yeah, aggro, yes. And you actually have a skill tree. Each character has a skill tree, and you can unlock certain skills. But you can only bring 5 with you each time on a mission. And you actually have a little hole you're supposed to put in your character card and stuff, sort of like Scythe. You know how you almost put things in?
Right, it's got a little indentation.
Yeah. So I thought that it felt very gamey to me, which I really liked in terms of this customization of while you could be the scion, character, the psychic kind of guy, you still have a lot of abilities. You just got to choose which 5 you think would be the best to bring in with you. And I think it sounded really cool, and sort of the fact that there's different endings can bring for more interesting story and map elements. They've already hit a lot of stretch goals, so there's a lot more. I think at least 3 new heroes, some new villains, including one who's a Kickstarter exclusive, who's pretty much Darth Vader. It looks like for a boss.
Okay, why not?
Yeah, so I think it just looked really fun if you're into that sort of the cooperative, almost dungeon crawl-esque kind of games, but with a sci-fi twist. I really thought it looked. I definitely wanted to sit down and play it after I read through it.
I like the idea of, as you said, the 5-point kind of loadout too, because it's not knowing exactly how this game works. It guarantees you can't be too overpowered. You're not, even if you have a bunch of cool abilities or whatever. If you're only bringing
and the other
so
thing
much.
is you can't make overpowered abilities, because you can't be like, all right, he's gonna unlock everything. You could be like, well, you can get all these, but you can only bring this in with you or something.
It's sort of the same thing, I guess, we see in miniatures games where you have points to put into.
Right.
I feel like more games should incorporate that outside of those genres. Cause I like that. It's cool.
This is a miniatures game, by the way, and I think it's in the expansion there. There are it's a new enemy group, and it includes this robots, and this is one. Their boss robot just is amazing looking miniature. and it's big. So
Gotta like minis. Well, this one goes for $89 or $99. $99.
It's a big miniature. Like there's
It's got them minis in there.
Yep.
So if you like that, you'll like this. It was funded in 34 minutes, according to their image. Next up is Rise of the Necromancers. You all know I like necromancers.
Oh yeah.
It's something I introduce myself that at parties. When every once in a while I will just go to a party uninvited, someone I don't know.
Bring some skeletons along.
Hello, I'm Jonathan. I like necromancers, and they call the police. So in this game, you are all playing as necromancers. It's sort of a territory control, almost reminded me of like a Cthulhu Wars-esque type of game where you have a map and you're trying to gain control of the different regions as a necromancer. You aren't really fighting each other directly, but you kind of are. You'll leave behind minions in certain regions, and other people can go in and try to kick you out of that place, or they can complete a quest there to do certain things. What I thought was cool about it is you start the game with multiple choices of necromancers, and you don't have to reveal which one you're sticking with until you're ready to play it. So people won't necessarily know at the start what you're trying to do. There are, I think, 6 or maybe less, I don't remember, different colors of like types of spells. 4 was it?
Because there are 4 classes. I think it was like Mist, Blood, Bone, and Decay.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know why I thought 6. And they said you can specialize in one, or you could go for a mix of all of them, which is a nice option. Hopefully that's as viable a strategy.
Well, I think it always depends on what other people are doing. So
true, but yeah.
Yeah, no, and I looked at this too, and it looked really cool because there are a lot of different units to build, which is fun. There's like undead dragons, I think like knights, regular zombies, ghosts, and of course you have to get corpses too to build them.
Right, you have to find resources and all that stuff. Like each location has its own abilities of different cards you get to draw. And
there are dungeons for you to raid, but you may run into heroes in there.
Yeah, so it sounded really fun, really interesting, and I like the amount of variety that it sounds like there is from game to game, and what your opponents are going to be doing is different.
And I'm really excited with the stretch goals. They haven't hit some of them yet, but like they went and they said just in case we hit really high. One of them is your units, which are currently just pieces, like cardboard pieces, would actually be minis. So just imagine some skeletal dragons and knights just on the field.
No, that would be awesome. Yeah, I hope they get there. So if you're interested, Rise of the Necromancers, that's on the cheaper end for this episode, $59. Actually, it's not. It's our second most expensive game. Why do I even say words?
Because you came from 90 to then.
Seems like a step down. And then finally, let's get out of the realm of these heavy type games
and start questioning our sanity.
Yeah, I've got a theory about this one.
Yes, it is called. It's just a theory. And the idea is you're all sort of conspiracy theorists, and you all have cards, and you're trying to do your chain of like being like. The government has a secret base, which is for, and then you have these green cards. It's like for drugs because of lizard people and this, and then you try to reach the end, and that's why people will always say prefer bacon over like some other. It's like like the, but you and I try to score points. The more cards I can play, the better. But if you have a card, like if I say like if I put down like the drug card, for example, and you have one of the green cards like drugs are poisonous because you can take over the conspiracy.
Okay.
To get points. Or if you think you can make a better one, people can actually vote. And like, no. They have the secret base because of this.
Now, I will say I looked at this one briefly, and kind of my initial thought was I liked the theme, but is this just another kind of Cards Against Humanity thing?
No, it definitely has that sort of feel, but I still enjoy it because I like the game where almost as if the game itself isn't as fun, but with the right group it is. Because the fun is going to be, not just saying like lizards, drugs. It's going to be like, all right, there's this base. And in there, you're not going to believe it, there's freaking lizard people. And you know what they're doing? They're taking all the Flintstone vitamins.
So like, more of a potential for like a storytelling aspect.
Right, and I think that's why the idea is fun. Because I feel like we definitely have, at least most of our group can be like that and actually bring that sort of fun element to the table.
Yeah, we know who to invite and who not to invite.
This only goes for, I think it's about $22 American.
25,
25,
think.
Yeah.
Maybe 20, I don't know.
But that's where I think if you have the kind of group that is willing to go that sort of extra mile role playing it almost, then this is definitely going to be a fun game for you.
Cool. As I said, definitely a cool theme. Conspiracy theories are fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, does not come with tinfoil.
Maybe it's a stretch goal.
Oh no, that should be a stretch goal. we go out to the grocery store and buy tinfoil.
If you enjoyed this video, it was just a snippet of our full-length podcast, which you can find on our YouTube channel every week. So please go ahead, like, and subscribe for more board game-related content coming at you in the future.
And don't forget to check out rollforcrit.com, where we actually sell a lot of the games we talked about, as well as post news and all our other videos. Until then, I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes, and this is Roll for Crit.